What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Sean Meehan, and joining me, as always, is local sheriff Ciara Lawler.
Howdy, boys. You better come in. No, I am terrible at accents.
Those improv lessons paid for themselves, folks.
I went for one lesson. We learnt about howdy boys in the Cowboys, and then I said, I think I have this down, Doc. I'm going.
So, Connor, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well. I'm quite excited because it is not my week of Hero or Zero, and that means that we don't get to cover like a good DC character. We get a shit Marvel character. And that is where you come in, Sean, because here at Hero or Zero, we cover one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and just generally give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. So, Sean, I'm excited to know who you did this week, because I have a theory from Monday's episode, and I'm interested to hear you expand on it.
That's true. So Monday I did one of the rare instances of actually announcing what character I would be covering. And we did a tiny briefer on this guy on Monday. Now, as we all know, a bajillion Marvel news stories dropped during the week. One of those was announced that Christian Bale in Thor Love and Thunder would be playing a character called Gorr the God Butcher. And so
now,
that's...
Gorr the God Butcher... Other than the very cool name, he has a very cool backstory that you only like briefly touched on. So I'm interested to see or hear more like intricate details.
Yeah, and so like this guy, I've been waiting to do this guy, and I'm really happy that now I have a good like reason to do it as well. So he will be the villain. He will be the villain in the next Thor film, Thor Love and Thunder. Yes, and I think as you listen to this report, you can see how a lot of this could apply to a future Thor film.
Okay.
Now, this is actually one of the few I want to start with a quote, because I need you to get in Gorr's head for this, okay?
Okay.
So this is the quote of Gorr the God Butcher on
Stop
his
standing in
Marvel
my
wiki
fucking
page.
light. You're walking behind the fucking camera.
No, that was a pretty good joke, Connor. I'm really proud of you. So it's, my name is Gorr, son of a nameless father, outcast from a forgotten world. I have slain my way through multitudes to stand here at the genesis of all things. Blackened by vengeance, wet with holy blood, one simple dream still strong in my heart, the dream of a godless age.
Holy shit.
Isn't that class?
That is like poetry.
That's actually beautifully written.
Yeah, for like, really, when it boils down to it, it's a psychopath killing people.
True, but when you hear his backstory, you might realise why.
Okay.
So Gorr the God Butcher was born on a planet with no name. Almost every day he was on the brink of starvation. He was taught by his people to trust in the gods, but they never answered any of his prayers. At an early age, his mother and father died, leaving Gorr to fend for himself in the harsh environment of the planet. Years later, he married and fathered some children. However, most of them eventually died just because of the harsh conditions that they had to live in.
Yeah, they were poor.
Yeah, exactly. Gorr's pregnant wife, Ara, was killed during an earthquake, and one by one, all of his children perished, until he was left with one son named Agar. Agar was on the brink of death due to starvation. Gorr tried to ease his suffering by lying to his son, telling him that they would soon reach a forest where they would never go hungry again. So...
Okay, so it's kind of like at this point, he's done nothing wrong. He's lived a very sad life.
He's just been dealt a really bad hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Stricken with grief after Agar's death, Gorr gave up hope and began to outwardly express his belief that there were no gods. For this, he was exiled by his superstitious people.
Fuck. So he's obviously like, well, why is all this bad shit happening to me? Everyone I know is dead, and you're still like, oh, well, if you believe in the gods, good things will happen. But he's like, I'm not seeing any of that good stuff happening.
Yeah, exactly. And so, while he was wandering the desert, hoping that he would die, praying, in case a god was listening, that he could die.
Oh, fucking hell.
Gorr witnessed a pair of battling gods. A dark elder god called Null, and a gold-armoured, purple-skinned god. Now, he watched them plunge out of the sky and crash land nearby. And at first he was shocked because he realised, oh, holy shit, gods do exist. He was then enraged when the god dressed in the gold armour begged him to help him in the fight.
So, like, it's a double whammy that you're like, oh, gods exist, which means one thing, and that is, well, then they didn't fucking help me, because they're actually real, and all this bad shit could have been prevented, and now they want my help.
Yeah, exactly. Gorr was enraged, and he took the Dark God's sword from him, which transformed him into a mass of living darkness and bonded to him. Now, if that sounds familiar at all, Connor, is because this sword is called All Black, the Necro Sword, and it's actually the first symbiote.
Oh, so Venom.
Yeah, like Venom and Carnage and all that. This was the first one.
Interesting. So it's like Prometheus. It's the first version of Alien.
It's very like that middling movie, yes.
Okay, yeah, no. So, does that mean that it's more or less volatile?
It's the most powerful, you could say.
Okay. So it was more watered down the further it went.
Yeah, no, it's not as simple as like all the symbiotes are its children or something like that. They just come from the same like gene pool.
Okay.
So he used All Black the Necro Sword to kill the god armoured in gold, and then vowed to seek vengeance against all gods for never answering his prayers, and he set out to kill them all.
Which, at this point, that is a very, very cool backstory. Like, that is actually a very, in a weird way, like a heroic backstory. Like,
it is.
Because he's been so wronged, and everyone he knows is dead, and he's like, I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone again, because if there's no gods, then everything bad that happens to everybody else, it'll be fine, because it's worse if you exist.
That's it. He develops this belief that no one is better off by there being gods in the world.
Yeah, okay.
So Gorr despised any god and travelled the cosmos for thousands of years to enact his revenge, embarking on a deicidal crusade in which he allegedly killed many gods of fear, war, chaos, genocide, revenge, plagues, earthquakes, blood, wrath, jealousy, death, degradation, and even gods of poetry and flowers.
Okay, well, I mean, flowers, he did not deserve that, to be honest with you.
Oh, he's a real prick.
God of Flowers was just sitting there like, I love tulips. Well, you're getting your fucking neck slit, right?
Get slain!
Get slain. He like pulls out the sword, the guy like starts putting flowers onto it, like, peace and love, man. He didn't even get through peace and love, he got to and then he got his head chopped off. It was terrible.
So the sword basically extends his life as well. So he just spends his entire existence doing this. So
does the symbiote, like, does that make him, obviously he has to be super powerful to be fighting all of these gods and beating them?
Yeah, like this, it makes him incredibly powerful.
Basically a god himself.
Now that we will touch on that later, my friend.
Because that could be an interesting plot point.
It is.
Okay.
So at some point in the 9th century, Gorr arrived on Earth and killed a god from the Americas. So I should clarify here as well, gods in Marvel Universe do exist, but they're just kind of higher evolved beings, is what they are.
Okay.
Like, for example, like Santa Claus exists in Marvel, Saint Patrick exists as a character.
Did he still get rid of all the snakes?
He did, as far as I know, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough, we'll allow him so.
Starting with you, Captain America. You snake.
So, there's just tons of gods all around the place, and they all represent different things for different cultures. So the body of this god that Gorr killed on Earth washed up on the shores of Iceland, where it was found by Thor. At a later date, while accompanying a Viking raiding party to Russia, Thor found more gods dead. After this, Thor was attacked by the God Butcher, who nearly managed to kill Thor, but just before the killing blow could be delivered, Thor conjured a lightning strike, which knocked both of them out.
Right, so it was kind of like a last-ditch effort.
That's it, like it put both of them out of commission.
But that's so, like, freaky that he's able to take on Thor, who we can see as, like, one of the most powerful beings in the whole of Marvel.
Yeah, and he can go toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah, fuck.
So, Gorr recovered and escaped to a cave, where he once again fought Thor. Despite Gorr attempting to torture Thor for information about the location of Asgard, he tortured Thor for 17 days.
What? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Thor held out long enough for his Viking worshippers to find him, distracting Gorr long enough for Thor to recover and cut off Gorr's right arm, believing that he had succeeded in slaying him.
I mean, that's just going to make him angrier.
Yes, exactly. And now the way this happened is this happened as the end of, here's the issue where Thor fights the God Butcher, and then it ended. And then later in comics, they write out back in that he survived.
Okay.
So Gorr survived the encounter and would spend the next 1,000 years butchering more and more gods, growing ever stronger and amassing an army of dark minions to assist him in his crusade. So every time he kills a god, he gets stronger.
Fucking hell. So does he get like a bit of their power?
Yeah, and it's more like it's also that he gets more used to fighting gods as well.
Yeah, he starts to learn what... Because actually, an interesting thing, and it happens with, say, Superman or something, like, most gods would actually be weirdly not very good at fighting, because they would never have to learn to fight because they've
never been challenged. Like,
they've never been challenged. So, like, that's why it's an interest. Like, if you look at Superman as a god in the DC world or whatever, like, in a fist fight, he's shit because he never has to use any actual techniques. He just punches people through. So, if a god comes up against someone who's just as strong as them and that person is actually trained, they normally lose.
Exactly, because they don't have the experience of being in a fight
or losing. Or like, oh, I'm on the back foot.
Yeah, and that's why, like, Thor, for example, is a great example because he is a fighter. Like, he's always been in fights and he will fight other gods.
Yeah, he doesn't care, which is why he probably survives, whereas everybody else spent their whole life like, oh, I'll just eviscerate you. I won't even look at you. Like, there isn't even a fight.
I will click my fingers and you'll be out of existence. Like.
Yeah.
Thor once again took notice of Gorr's activities centuries later and began hunting him when he was summoned to a world without gods. Recognising Gorr's handiwork when he found all of the deities of the world slaughtered, Thor went to the cave where they once fought to look for him. Gorr attacked a god to lay claim to what's called the Pool of Forevers. And then he used the blood of a god of time to traverse the time stream.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, Gorr can time travel now.
Oh, well, that's good. I really thought he didn't need to get more powerful, but now he's time travelling to different gods.
Yes. And what he did, he went back to the very beginning of the universe and slew one of the very first elder gods.
Of course he did.
He then headed forward in time by millennia into the future, and he arrived on Earth 14412. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I don't often go into the multiverse stuff, but this is very interesting.
Okay.
So Gorr claimed a desolate world to serve as his base of operations and enslaved all the gods he could capture. The one god that he made an exception was that universe's version of Thor, who is called All-Father Thor. So he's the head of Asgard. He has all the powers of Odin.
Okay.
So Gorr captured him and routinely tormented and tortured him. Over the next 900 years, Gorr forced the enslaved gods to mine broken planets and the stores of and the cores of stars for material that he could use to build a god bomb, which he intended to use to exterminate all gods across the entirety of the time stream.
Fucking hell. So this guy is building a bomb. So he's using gods, first of all, and he has them as slaves.
Yeah.
Which, as itself, is fucking mental that he's strong enough that he takes all of the gods, uses them as slaves to build a bomb to end up blowing all of them up.
Yep, and
right.
The idea being that he would kill every god that had ever or would ever exist.
Jesus Christ, so it would go across time streams.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Using the power of the symbiote, Gorr also created constructs of his deceased wife and son.
Okay, I can see that.
Though unbeknownst to him, his quote-unquote son embodied the subconscious self-loathing that Gorr felt for himself.
Oh, right, because all of this is just because it all started because he was hurt originally, and it's like he lashed out once, and he's like, now everybody has to pay because I feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. And now this is his life. And we're about to get on to the last bit of the report here before the powers. Okay. And it all kind of comes to a head, and this is where I think the movie could pull a lot from.
Okay.
So after the arrival of Thor the Avenger from Earth 616, so the main universe Thor.
Yeah, Earth 1616 is basically the MCU or whatever.
Exactly. So Gorr sent his minions into the past to get the young Thor from when they first met. So from the 9th century, back when they first fought.
Okay.
And he brought this Thor into the future where he was enslaved with the other remaining gods.
So he brought young Thor into 14 whatever.
Yeah, into Earth 14 4112.
Okay.
Perfect. So young Thor attempted to destroy the god bomb, but was catapulted off the planet, where he met up. Yeah, that's a funny line.
Catapulted off the planet.
So he went to swing at it. No, he went to swing at it, and it bounced him off.
Oh, of course. Good.
So while up in space, he met up with Thor from the main universe, and also King Thor, who has all the powers of Odin, who has escaped by this point.
So now you've got 3 Thors.
We've got 3 Thors, Connor. Now I want you to bear that in mind.
Okay.
The 3 Thors decided to assault Gorr and his planet for the last time, and nearly succeeded in killing him. But due to absorbing power from the gods he had killed, Gorr was too powerful and defeated the 3 Thors, leaving them for dead.
Holy shit, how powerful can he be?
Oh, he's so powerful. It's so good. He set off to activate the god bomb. On his way over, the construct he had created of his wife called him a god, and Gorr killed her.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. So Agar then, the construct of his son, decided to assist Thor the Avenger in bringing down the God Butcher, having come to realise that his father had become the very thing he had always despised.
He lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And you called that straight away. He has godlike power. But he hates gods.
And the more gods you kill, then that means you're on their level. The first one you kill, it's an underdog story. You kill the god and you're just a dude. But after you kill 20 gods, that kind of puts you on the god level. You must be very fucking powerful. If you're taking their power every time you kill one, eventually you're going to overtake them. And if you can defeat all 3 Thors at once, you have got to be stronger than 3 gods combined.
It's ridiculous. And so, Thor, you have to remember, is a god. Okay? So, he can get energy from prayers. So, charged by the prayers of Agar, as well as the prayer of every single surviving god across space and time, Thor absorbed the god bomb's blast, as well as the Necro Sword.
Shit!
Yeah. So Thor was able to weaken Gorr, with Gorr's son denouncing Gorr as the god of hypocrisy.
Oh, fucking little dickhead.
Fucking got him right at the end. And then Thor's
Bring him back
past
to
self.
the forest, Gorr. Bring him back.
Bring him back. And then Thor's past self finally killed him.
Jesus Christ. So, he became too big and he had to be taken down by himself.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, if he hadn't built that god bomb, he would have been fine.
Jesus. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So do you think they'll do that in the Thor film?
I mean, the idea of Thor's teaming up makes sense, given what we know of Love and Thunder. I suppose the one thing is that you don't have that many gods to pick from in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, there's only really him and Lady Thor.
That's it, and like I guess you could probably work Loki into that crew if you really wanted.
No, but he's dead as well, technically.
Technically, but they can bring him back through the Loki series.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
But also, you said Gorr, like, he has a very interesting thing in regards to into Thor, Gorr and Thor. But in terms of Thor storylines, in that he's the reason why Thor eventually becomes unworthy for the hammer, because the Watcher says to the Watcher. I'm not going to say it is Nick Fury, but if we just say the Watcher in the comic books, who's the guy who knows everything, and Thor is there, and the Watcher tells Thor, Gorr, the God Butcher, was right when he said, "Oh, the gods are not needed," and Thor just immediately loses all faith in himself because he's like, "Well, if that's true, then what the fuck am I doing?" And he becomes unworthy of Mjolnir. So then Lady Thor has to take up the mantle, which is, I feel like, what's going to happen in the film.
Absolutely. Like, and the Thor we have in the MCU he's had his confidence shaken enough times that I'm sure it won't be too big of a step for like someone who believes this hard that God shouldn't exist. I'm pretty sure that would get through to him. And
I mean, the most amazing part of Endgame is when he's depressed and he holds out his hand and the Mjolnir comes to him. Like, that's so amazing. But you could, that's like taking that storyline and then going one further with it, and you're just like, yeah, but you now have a conflict where someone says you're not worthy, and he's feeling that already, and so that's just going to only add to the fact where he's becoming he's feeling less and less worthy.
Yeah, and I love the play of like Gorr the God Butcher versus Thor, because they are two sides of the same coin. Because Thor's whole identity is wrapped up in him being a god, and Gorr's whole identity is him wrapped up in gods are the worst. But but Thor has this amazing amount of humanity, and Gorr has this terrifying godlike power. Yeah,
like Gorr is the human, but he has no humanity in him, and Thor is the god, and he's got loads of humanity in him.
It's so they're a match made in heaven.
Yeah, that's great.
And when I go through Gorr's powers here, you will properly see godlike energy. I will preface this by saying I couldn't find an official Marvel 1-7 rating system for him.
He broke the system.
He broke the system. I've actually calculated my own based on what I could find.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Perfect. So, as far as powers and abilities goes, Gorr was originally a mortal alien, completely lacking any superhuman abilities.
He's at a 1.
He's at a 1 at the minute. After bonding to All Black the Necro Sword, a symbiotic weapon Gorr found on the body of a wounded god, he attained powers of matter manipulation, meaning that he can use the living abyss of the symbiote to create constructs such as wings, weapons, and armour. He has superhuman strength, comparable, if not greater to, than Thor.
Jesus.
He was able to beat young Thor, present-day Thor, and All-Father Thor all at the same time, and has single-handedly defeated millions of gods in open combat.
I'm going to say 7.
A 7 is a pretty conservative guess.
Okay, so 7 out of 7.
7 out of 7. He has superhuman durability, superhuman speed, superhuman reflexes, longevity. So Gorr lived for several billion years. And he's also he has superhuman regeneration, growing back limbs that had been cut off and recovering from a direct lightning strike from Thor.
Oh my god. Fucking hell.
So he also has combat skills. He has at least 3,000 years of combat experience, and is skilled enough with weapons to duel gods with ease. He's also a very skilled torturer, and claimed that he once tortured a god of torture.
Oh my god, this dude is so cool.
I don't know how they're going to do him on film, but it's going to be so good. Like if they even get half of this.
And he's played by Christian Bale.
Yeah, like it's actually great casting now that I think.
I think the more I think about it, the more I'm listening to this, I'm just like Christian Bale in that role as just like the angry, revenge-riddled, and he's just so powerful. But he's just, I don't know. Christian Bale has a great aura about him, just like he'd fuck you up, like in a weird way. It's not like Gorr the God Butcher should walk into every room, and he's just like he's looking to kill someone.
And he can as well, is the thing. So without the Necro Sword, Gorr isn't very strong, but if he has the Necro Sword, his strength allows him to lift in excess of 100 tons, and again rivals, if not surpasses, Thor.
Oh, and Thor would be fairly, across the board, one of the most powerful characters in all of Marvel. Yeah,
I think Thor is a 7 in terms of strength.
And he defeated 3 Thors, so he's 21.
So he does have some weaknesses, apparently.
Okay.
So despite All Black being a symbiote and ostensibly through that being vulnerable to heat and sonic vibrations, Gorr has withstood being immersed in lava and has withstood stellar plasma without sustaining any injury. So in theory you could hurt him that way, but it doesn't seem to affect him at all.
So only in theory does he have weaknesses.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
and
that's fair enough.
So, and just on that symbiote, the power of Gorr is dependent entirely on that symbiote, which in itself is dependent on the blood of gods for its power. So the more gods killed by the Necro Sword, the more power it can provide its user.
Oh man, I think this is written by Taika Waititi is going to be fucking amazing.
Isn't it going to be so good?
It's and like if he turns up and he's already killed like 1,000 gods, and then he rocks up into this fucking film, and Thor is like all cocky, and then he's just like, oh, he's got the power of 1,000 gods in the symbiote.
Like, there won't be any stopping him. That's the thing. And like, look who he's up against. He's up against, Thor, fair enough, Lady Thor, fair enough, but who else could stand against a god?
Nobody. Like, literally nobody. No, like, it doesn't matter who else you pick out of the Avengers. Maybe Captain Marvel?
Maybe. But I think even Captain Marvel would struggle with this.
Yeah, I think Thor is, I would say, marginally stronger than Captain Marvel. The two of them are probably the top 2. But for some reason I think Thor may be slightly stronger. But if he can't take him, if the two of them together might have a hope, but individually I think they'd both get killed.
I think so. Now, if I can just run through my calculation of the power grid for a sec.
Okay.
Strength of 7, speed of 7, durability of 7, power of 7, intelligence of 6.
Okay, he's a fucking dunce.
And energy projection of 6 as well.
Yeah, you can only project a little bit of energy, like just a little
bit
below all-time most powerful character ever.
He's actually he's such a broken character, but he engineers his own destruction is the thing, which I love about him.
Yeah, and that's what all great characters do. Like, they always engineer their own destruction. Like, I mean, it's in the film, but you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Exactly. I think Christian Bale is going to carry this quiet aggression through the whole movie, because he's not a raving madman either. He's very you saw the quote at the start there. He's very driven, and he's collected his thoughts over billions of years about this.
But I think that's more interesting. Like, there's a bit with Jason Todd in... I know I bring this back to Batman, but just in terms of Jason Todd, and he's Red Hood, and he goes around killing people, and so Batman puts him in an asylum. Yeah. And they do a load of tests, and they find out that Jason Todd is completely sane. So, he passes all the tests, and all the psychiatrists are like, no, there's literally nothing wrong with him. That's just what he believes. And so that is what I think of with Gorr the God Butcher. It's like, you could do a load of tests. He's not crazy. He's like, this is just what I believe, and I believe it completely that it's right that there's no gods.
He does not think that what he's doing is wrong.
Which is it's more terrifying.
It is. And there's that thing of like every villain is a hero in their own mind. And Gorr generally believes he is helping the universe by doing this. And there's probably an argument to be made that he is.
Yeah, there is. That's why, and like you see it even say in Black Panther, like the movies work so much better when the villain, you're like, you know what, he has a fucking point. Like, I can see why he thinks that.
Yeah, I see his logic, and the logic does check.
I might not agree with it, but I can see why he would think that, having gone through his experiences. Yeah,
not just, he's crazy and that's why he did it.
Yeah, oh man, I cannot wait for Thor Love and Thunder. I mean, it's so exciting that this character is going to be the villain. So exciting that you have Natalie Portman coming back. I think it's going to be great.
I think so too. Thank you for listening to me gush about one of my favourite characters.
Always. I'm always into that. So, Sean, will I take us out?
Yes, please, Connor.
So, if you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. If you head on over there now, we have 3 different tiers, and one of them includes the Lazarus Pit. So you can get an extra movie review once a month, every single month, and this month's Christmas review is going to be Jingle All the Way. So if you if you join that pledge now, you will get access to every other review we've done all year throughout 2020. I think we started in February, so it'll be 11 full movie reviews that are completely untapped other than to the Patreons. If you don't want to do that, you can support us by going to our merch store. The link is down below. It's spreadshirt.com. Here's for Hire podcast. If you just head on over there, you can get a hoodie or a t-shirt or, I don't know, a cup if you want, or a woolly hat for the winter months.
There's a god-killing symbiote up there with our logo
There's
on
absolutely not. There is not one of them. Do not listen to him. But if you want to walk around with a piece that says Heroes for Hire, you can do that as well. That'd be much appreciated. But actually, what you could really help us out, and it won't cost you a dime, is just give us a like or review on whatever platform you're listening to this on. It really helps us out on the algorithm. And actually, could you give us a follow on Twitter? Our Twitter is at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Heroes for Hire Podcast. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And also, we now have a Facebook group called Detective Divilment's Discussion Group. And
we didn't really plug this yet, but yeah, that's a fun little group.
That's a fun little group, so we're trying to get all the members in so then we can start having some nerd discussions about all the news stuff coming out every single week. But yeah, so I think that's it for another week. So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Sean Meehan.
And we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.